Good. Okie dokie.
Good
I think
morning.
we'd like.
Morning, good morning. Sorry, we're a couple of minutes late this morning. It's just one of those things. On a Sunday morning, sometimes we just run a little bit late because well, we'll just use the excuse it's Sunday morning. It's a little bit hard to get out of bed sometimes on a Sunday morning because we don't have that many opportunities to have a lie-in, do we, Patsy?
No, we don't, but that's okay. That's our choice, right?
That's, that is exactly right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. How's your weekend been?
Yeah, pretty full on. Had lots of time with my little grandchildren, which is amazing. My daughter and her husband are right in the middle of wedding season and 30th season, and there's a lot going on for them. So yeah,
So
it's been
you're
good for us.
stepping in and doing wonderful nana duties.
Yes,
How,
yes,
how
loving it.
exciting. So good, so good. We've had, for those of you who don't know, in New Zealand, we have had what's called Waitangi Day. So we get a public holiday. So we all had Friday off in New Zealand. So we've had a long extended weekend, which has been lovely. So I've been doing a lot of stuff out in the garden, which I've been really enjoying. So, but I've got a little bit of sun on me, which has been also really nice too. So.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, welcome for those of you who are jumping on and being a part of this live this morning. It's so lovely to have you live here with us. And if you are here, please make sure that you say hi to us in the chat box, pop into the comments, and we'll see if we can see your name come up while you are here this morning. Sometimes we don't always get to see them, but when we do, it's lovely to know that you're here watching live with us this morning. And for those of you who get to watch the replay, hashtag replay would be amazing. So we're on to week two of the nervous system and inner safety series, which we're going to be presenting over the next few weeks. We've been doing a lot of work on this ourselves lately, and it has come with a lot of realization that this is really important component of finding inner peace. So we thought this would be beautiful. So this week, week two, we're doing regulation, not suppression. So last week we introduced the foundation sort of truth that that inner peace isn't something that we think our way into. It's something that your body really needs to feel inside. And so this week we want to take that understanding just a layer deeper, because many of the women that are in this group and that watch us, hear things like, look, love, or just calm down. How many times have you heard that in your lifetime? Just calm down, Ooh, it's a trigger if ever, right? Or just relax. Just relax, or hey, why don't you just let it go? And when you're in fight and flight or fawn or freeze or what have you, it becomes a little difficult, doesn't it, Patsy, to actually just let it go, right?
Cool. Yes.
So instead of feeling better, they feel a lot more frustrated and triggered, as you may find. So today is all about why that happens, and more importantly, what actually works as we move through. So we're going to be exploring the difference between regulation and suppression, because they're not the same thing, even though they often get quite confused sometimes.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Thanks, Ray. So, why calm down doesn't work?
Yeah, I doubt.
Interesting. I think it makes it worse, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When your nervous system's activated and your body's not asking to be silenced. That's
Mm,
why it's actually asking to be heard. And as Ray said before, when your nervous system is activated, you're kind of either in fight and flight, freeze or fawn. So you're probably in one of those states. And when you're in those states, your body is in a heightened, and it just yeah, thinking's not something that comes naturally.
yeah.
Um, So suppression is when we tell ourselves, I shouldn't feel this.
Like a bit of a denial, right?
This isn't logical. I just need to get over it. I just need to get over it. I'll be fine. But, it's really just kind of ignoring what your body's telling you and just telling yourself that to just move on, basically. So regulation is something different. And that's the part that we've been working on.
Yeah.
So regulation says, I can feel this and stay present.
Yeah.
So it's okay to feel the way that you're feeling. It's just your body's way of communicating with you. And it's just wanting you to acknowledge that it's trying to tell you something. And I don't have to push it away to be safe. And that's something that we've learnt to do. I mean, a lot of us as kids, have been told to be quiet, especially when we're upset. Stop crying. Stop crying, or I'll give you something to cry about. Things like that, So it teaches us that we can't really show our emotions, or we have to stuff our emotions down. And you can also say to yourself in regulation, I can allow sensation without being consumed by it. So it's okay to feel the way that you're feeling, but it's about acknowledging it and just sort of staying with it and not allowing it to totally take over. So the distinction is, suppression disconnects you from your body, and regulation actually connects you to it. But a lot of people, through some of the things that they've experienced as children, some of the trauma that they've been through, they really just don't actually feel that safe inside of their body. So it's really hard for them to actually drop into their bodies and feel what's going on because there's too much fear. So suppression may look calm on the outside, but inside the nervous system is staying on alert. So you're not actually moving that emotion through your body, and it's staying stuck in there. So when you suppress your emotions and you've still got this alert nervous system going on the inside, even though on the outside you're telling yourself it's okay, it's when it becomes really hard to rest, even if you're tired.
And your brain just doesn't stop.
Yeah. And why, when even if you try to meditate maybe or whatever, you feel on edge, or maybe you can't drop into your body. And also why you can understand your patterns but still react, because you're not actually dealing with that response, right? So because your body doesn't need to be controlled, just needs to be met. It needs to be met where it's at. And when the body feels met, not judged and not rushed, it naturally begins to settle. So regulation then restores your choice, the choice of where it is that you choose to go from that state. And when we learn or become aware of when we're actually activated and our body needs to be acknowledged and met where it is, that's when we can begin to choose how it is that we move forward. And that's where we can choose peace. We choose to go inwards and drop in and listen and be still. We choose to move forward within a peace.
Yeah. And how many times, it'd be really interesting to step into this week, and really start to listen to when our body speaks to us, because, our body's speaking to us all the time. Even when it is calm, it's allowing us to be calm. But when we're really triggered, or even if we're, that nervous feeling that you get sometimes, you get butterflies in your tummy and stuff, like even then, our body's telling us something. So yeah, it's really interesting. Just looking at another way of looking at it, just imagine being in the ocean. If a wave comes towards you and you tense up and you resist, or you try to fight it, like, oh, here comes the wave, right? You're far more likely to be, knocked off your feet. Like you see it, oh, you can feel it, it takes you out. But if you soften your body, and you stay really present and you allow the wave to just pass through, or you maybe dive into the wave, that you're steady in it, knowing, that the wave is there, you're still standing, on the other side. You you feel your way through. So suppression isn't fighting the wave. Regulation is riding it, going with the wave. So many of us have learned early that emotions are very inconvenient to have, emotion, especially as kids, right? Like you said before, Patsy, emotions are way too much, like they're too much, they're too loud, they're too messy. So we've learned to hold ourselves real tight, and you might find that you find your stomach clenching, or maybe your shoulders, shoulders and backs, tend to hold on to quite a bit of stress and stuff as well. And that holding might keep us safe. It may have kept us safe in the past, but now it keeps our nervous system really stuck in the effort of holding on to it. So regulation, whereas regulation is more about going with the flow, it's softening that body. It's staying present in the moment. It isn't indulging in those emotions. It's just about letting your body complete, what you started. And when that happens, the system often just starts to calm and settle down. Not because it's being forced to, but because it no longer needs to stay in that high alert, all the time. So, yeah.
So important, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. So we've got some questions again, like we did last week. Good morning, Anne. So I'll pop them into the comments for you to reflect on throughout the week. So the questions are, what in my life do I try to calm myself down? In brackets, instead of meeting what's there. So maybe, start to reflect on what are those times that you may be holding on to your emotion rather than actually, or ignoring it, passing it by, rather than actually indulging yourself and trying to feel it. The next one is, what sensations do I tend to avoid or override in my body? So classic one for me anyway is, like, if I feel emotional, I try and I hold back my emotions, and I feel it here in my, like a big swallow, like emotionally, I'll try and, hold it down. The other one is, what might change if I allowed that sensation without needing to fix it. So just releasing and allowing it to pass through. So I'll pop those questions into the comments so that you can have them and maybe reflect on them and journal about them this week.
Awesome. Yeah, so it's all about just really getting curious about what's going on and not critical of yourself, because our body doesn't sort of have a vocal language, does it? But it tells us, gives us messages through sensation. So it's really just about listening and understanding and just knowing that your body's sending you a message, and your body's doing the best that it can, which is important to know, because our bodies are amazing. As I always tell my little grandsons, if they hurt themselves or something, they get worried. I'm like, okay, your body's amazing. It knows exactly what to do.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
I
All
love
right, so we're just going to jump into a little bit of a guided experience. So just when you're ready, just getting yourself comfortable, maybe popping your feet on the ground. I'll just take a couple of nice breaths just to land. So just taking a breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathing in again and out. And one more, just breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. We're just going to practice regulation, and not by changing anything, but just by staying with it. So just sit comfortably, And allow your eyes to close if that feels safe. Bringing awareness once again to your breath and just noticing your breath, not controlling it. Just noticing that breath moving in and out, much like the tide. Now gently scan your body and just noticing if there's any sensation that is present for you right now. It could be a warmth or a coolness, maybe a tightness or a numbness, or maybe you've got a bit of an ache somewhere. Maybe you can feel something moving in your body, or it might just feel neutral. But just choose one sensation that feels manageable, not intense, just present. Bring your attention there, kind of just like you're sitting beside it. And silently say, I'm here with you. You don't need to go away. And just notice if the sensation shifts or softens or stays the same. There's no right or wrong outcome here. It's just information. So regulation is simply staying present long enough for the body to trust. So take a slow breath in and an easy breath out. And again, a nice slow breath in and an easy breath out. Just let your body know. Nothing needs to change for me to be okay. And when you're ready, just gently opening up your eyes. Good morning, Donya. Long time no see.
Good
Hope you're having a
morning,
good morning.
Donya. It's lovely to have you here. Wonderful, ladies. So today, it's not about becoming calmer, right? It's about becoming more available to yourself. So regulation isn't something that you achieve or conquer. Oh, it's something that you practice. And that's the thing, is that it's about stepping into awareness so that we can practice these things. So when you, like this morning, you've been brought attention to this, right? So today you can practice, because a lot of the things that we feel in our bodies are very unconscious because we've done it for our whole entire life. So we need to just start to be aware of, like, oh, I feel a little something there. What is that? What's going on there? And just sit with it. So the more your body starts to learn, that sensation doesn't equal danger, because that's what it's doing. It's trying to keep us safe. The more space we start to create for that clarity, and for us to actually listen to our intuition and to be able to make choices from there. So over this coming week, just really simply start to notice, the different times that you might suppress your feelings, or when you might sort of stay with them, or how your body responds to being met with, with the emotion that comes up. So next week we are going to go a little deeper again, because that's what we do the best, right? Is that we're going to be looking at stress cycles and the completion of those, and why rest alone isn't enough just to reset the nervous system. So we'll go a little deeper on that next week. So yeah, looking forward to that one as well. So Thank you, thank you, thank you for those of you that are here with us this morning. It's always lovely to have you in alive and saying hi. And for those of you who get to watch the replay, please hashtag replay so that we can see. And if you feel like answering some of those questions that are in there, then please do. It's always good because when we're in a container like this, it's really good to show up for the other women that are in the group as well, because when you're expressing how you feel and showing up, it gives other ladies the chance and the I don't know, the confidence and the courage to start expressing how they feel as well. They feel supported, especially if, some women feel a little bit like, a little bit shy and sharing sometimes and getting involved. So it's really good because then one woman supports the next woman, and it's a lovely thing to do. So yeah.
Awesome. All right then, ladies, lovely to see you this morning, and have an amazing rest of your day.
Yeah.
And we will catch you next week. Next week.
Next week.
We'll try it again.
Yeah.
All right. See you
All
later.
right. Bye.
Bye.